pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop.
And we are back. That's right. This is Brooke Camhi, winner of season 29 of The Amazing Race, here to welcome you to this week's episode of The Pit Stop on the Purple Pants podcast. And with me today is the smart, the handsome, the talented, hardest working man in show business that I know, and I know some people. Please welcome my co-host, Mr. Brice Izyah.
Yay! What's going on, Brookie Poo? I'm excited to be here talking the amazing race with you. We've got a really interesting episode to get into. And yeah, I'm excited. The race is trucking on. I do have some gripes, but what's new? But
I mean, who doesn't?
I enjoyed this episode, even though I felt like it was a book that I have read from my childhood, that I knew how it ended from the first page.
Before. Exactly. This is the movie we've seen, and it was a booklet. It wasn't even a book. This is one of those legs that people finished before other people started. There was very little room to take anybody else over. Last place was not becoming first place because first place finished before last place started. But all that being said, we do love any amazing race because it's better than no amazing race. So I'm happy that we're here, and I'm happy that we're talking, and I think we should get into the episode. Also, happy Halloween weekend.
Happy Halloween weekend. Hoo, ha, ha, ha.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Just out of curiosity.
Okay.
If you woke up this morning and this was next to you, would you have freaked out?
No, because
somebody face.
I wouldn't have freaked out because I've had a morning or two like that in my day, bro. Who is this man? Well, good morning to you.
So Matt's birthday is Halloween, and so I thought it would be funny to roll over and say happy Halloween and happy birthday with a card wearing this.
I thought it was the other way around. Wait, so you're doing the spooking? Yes,
because I'm a scaredy cat. I don't like live scary things. And also, Scream came out when I was 16 years old, and I might have fucked my parents' bed that night. The first Scream, yeah. Anyway, long story short, too late. I did get very worried that so Matt's first instinct in fear is to punch. So it's I'm gonna get punched in the face. So I took my plan and I changed it, and I got breakfast, and I walked it into, he was doing some work, and I walked it in, and I handed breakfast in a Scream mask, but he was working. He's like, thanks so much. And I was like, he didn't even look up. And I just stood there holding the breakfast, and he's like, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I was like, and he looked up and he was like, oh, and I was like, what a bust. So not easily spooked, but whatever. So I'm going to have to scare every child I see today. I got to do something with this mask.
Not the kids. Now, is Scream with Sydney? Is that Sydney was in Scream? Now, that wasn't I Know What You Did Last Summer. That or was that
No,
the
that's
one?
Love Hewitt. That's Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Is Scream the one that's like, the call is coming from inside the house?
Somebody famous dies in the first 5 minutes of every Scream. Like Drew Barrymore was in the first one for 5 minutes. Jada Pinkett Smith was in one of them. Who I don't remember. Lucy Hale was in the beginning of one. It's always so fun. Those movies are great. I love a scary movie. Teeny bopper horror films are one of my guilty pleasures, along with shark movies, which is a little not like Sharknado, but kids go scuba diving. They've run out of air. They're stuck in a cave, and now they're sharks. I
ain't never
sign me
seen
up.
that movie.
Or Blake Lively is a doctor, and she's out swimming and stuck on a buoy, and there's a shark. And what's she gonna do? How's she gonna kill it? Spoiler alert: she kills it. But these are my if you were in the OC, Gossip Girl, some teeny bop Beverly Hills 90210, and you have then gone on to be in yes, and then you have gone on to be in a teeny bopper horror film. Sign me up. I am there.
And so they consider Scream a teeny bopper horror movie film?
Yeah, I mean, it's a horror movie, but it's funny. It's so good. Like it's just good-natured fun. But yeah, it's like teens killing teens. Oh my god, this is bad.
Oh, well, child, that sound like America.
Oh,
But
oh,
uh,
that brought me down. Okay, sorry.
sorry, okay, sorry. But yeah, no, I think I was like 2 when Scream 6 came
Oh,
out, so
stop.
that kind
Okay.
of missed my era. But I've
Is Scream
seen.
6 even out? Was this most recent one I don't maybe 6 just came. Yeah. But there's another one coming out
Oh,
and
they
I
still
will be
making
there.
them.
Mhm.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, well, I guess there's a little Scream essence in this amazing race because the salt was coming from inside the chamber. uh,
I like it.
yeah, I trying to do what I could do, but we are still in Croatia.
Yeah, because why
And
would we go anywhere else, right? Uh-huh.
although this might have been the start of the episode was definitely Scream 1 and towards the end was Scream 6, we kind of knew what was coming. I did find this enjoyable. I do think in order to win big, you have to take big risk. And I think that there were some big risks taken that didn't pay off, but I
Mm.
appreciated the thought process throughout it. I feel like we got homage to our Philly Johns.
Oh,
Okay,
best
we got
moment. Mhm.
okay. I was cracking up when I heard out of
Out of
towners, out
towner.
of towners. So I mean, this episode had some highs, some lows, and some in
I mean, how do
betweens.
you not love a team of fans? I mean, they watch The Amazing Race if they are quoting Andrea and Milena. But even so, I mean, it's Izzy and Paige. How do you not love them to begin with? And how do you not love them even more now that they're quoting previous teams? So
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
And I also feel like since we're just talking and talking, like my rule of being at the top of the pack, I think I need to change it because I
Okay.
feel like Hunter and Eric, although we are episode 6, we only got 5 or 4 more episodes left. There is something about their dominance in these last 3 episodes that is giving me like I want to come for your crown. Like, I don't
I
know.
think
Like, but
Jag and Jazz might be safe from a U-turn because
I think
Hunter.
they
Now you
are.
have me calling him Hunter.
Well, I don't know
That's
who
not his name.
that's I saw Hunter this
Tucker.
episode.
Tucker.
Hunter.
Because they are so dominant that I think teams might just sort of start to forget, well, some teams, about Jag and Jazz. But we'll see what happens. Should
Okay.
we do it? Should we talk it? Should we do it?
Let's talk a little Amazing Race.
Should I do the whole thing wearing this?
I mean, if you want to, because the pod could be coming inside of the cast.
Okay, so it freaks me out actually. I know it's me and it still freaks me out.
It's a little
Hello.
scary.
Welcome to the
Hello.
podcast. Okay, sorry, I'm done now. That's enough of that.
Okay.
Halloween is over, Brooke. Okay. So we're in Croatia. We have Tucker and Eric, Hunter, Tucker, and Eric, who
Hunter,
start at
yeah.
8:58 in the morning. They gave us our times back, which I love. They have to drive to another spot in Croatia, but it looks like a little bit of a drive, which is good, to these botanical gardens, which look beautiful, and find this statue of Neptune. Okay.
Was it an arboretum?
Yeah, like a tree park. Yeah, like a botanical
Yeah,
garden.
but so
Yeah,
why
yeah.
was feel like arboretum? I'm like, now I
I don't
know
know.
words and me don't get along, but I'm from Philadelphia and we have a lot of arboretums,
Do
and
you?
we do. We have like there's like one maybe like less than a mile from my house that we grew up going to. So I have a lot of arboretums, but I was like, maybe it's a different word in Croatia because Phil was like arboretum.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. Or maybe
Okay.
it's just his Kiwi accent. I don't know.
Okay.
And we find out they have 10 euros for this leg of the race. So don't go wasting your money on ice cream and magnets, Tucker and Eric. Okay. So we find out the car is stick shift, which is foreshadowing because somebody's obviously going to have a problem with the car. I didn't think it would be the team who drives and owns a trucking company for a living, but it was kind of hilarious and I loved it. Okay. So Tucker and Eric are on their way. Kylan and Taylor take off in second place at 9:24. They are happy. They are upbeat. I would be too. They're in the front. And I feel like
Yes.
this is where they should have been all along. But that's fine because like you said at the beginning, if you're not in the front, there's that target which gets very, very
Yes.
small if you're not in the front. So good for them. And then Jag and Jazz take off at 9:32. They talk about U-turning Izzy and Paige because when did they not talk about that? And because they thought Izzy and Paige were going to U-turn them. Now, I want to take a second and clear something up
Okay.
because I, along with every other podcaster that I saw, said last week that Izzy and Paige would have U-turned Jag and Jazz. Now, Paige posted something that said, no, we would have not. That is
Yes.
not how we were going to play. And I'm
Yes.
going to say I was wrong. Maybe that's just how I would
Yes.
have played because I lead with emotions instead of with a logical brain like the two of them. So Izzy and Paige have a better head on their shoulders than Brooke does. So they were
Yes. I
not
think
going, record cleared. They were not going to U-turn Jag and Jazz. I apologize for making an assumption. They're great.
yes.
Let's
I
see what
mean, the
happens. But
clear
they do want to run into them. They want to
they
run into
do.
them and give them a piece of their mind.
They absolutely do. But on one of our like Instagram highlights, we did a little funny clip of Paige and Izzy. And Paige, and 630 some reasons why I love Paige. Paige said the funnier part is that we would have not we wouldn't even know how a U-turn board works if we would have not U-turn. It's such a physical thing. Okay, so Paige is setting the record straight. Now,
They know how it works. They are fans. They're quoting another team. They've seen this show. They did their homework. They didn't just roll up like some other teams are like, what's the Amazing Race? Sure, let's do it and figure out what it is later. So Brooke made an assumption. Brooke is sorry.
Yes.
Brooke
It's
would have
one
done
of our
it.
favorite
Okay.
teams. And listen, we
course.
love it. And I will go on record as though I'm sad that it happened, but I am kind of glad that it happened because I feel like it lit a fire under Izzy's butts and Paige. And I like to see it. So, I mean, I don't
There is
like
something to be said. Yeah, I agree. There is something to be said for like having to do more and accomplishing it and giving you like the strength and the confidence to know, well, I can do both sides and I can do anything. So I know that they're not the most physical team, like especially when it came to like running and stuff, as he was saying. So I think that you know what? I think it's a good thing. They survived it. They're moving back up and they're a team to be reckoned with. So okay. We said what we said. Okay. So Joseph and Adam started 10:08. Adam is so excited. This is so funny to me. It's like 4 minutes into the episode at this point. Adam is so excited they're not lost. I'm like, it's been 4 minutes. They're just, you know what? But small victories, and that's cool. At this point, we have 4 teams that have started. Eric and Tucker are already at the Detour, where they are told to either bag it up, where you have to fill a wheelbarrow with salt-filled bags, seal 10 bags, weigh those bags. They have to weigh between 20 and 21 pounds, and then wheel them basically through a swamp to get to the guy who checks your bags and gives you your clue. Yeah, well, it's not the most successful wheeling of a bag, but yes. And then the other option was pull it up, where you have to row this boat out into this bay to these marked buoys, and you have to pick up 3 buoys worth of oysters, bring them to the chef at a restaurant, and get your clue that way. Eric and Tucker immediately go to bag it up. Jag and Jazz at this point have made their way to the garden, the arboretum. Thank you. I learned something today. And they also decide to bag it up. Here's the moment that I find funny. Jag and Jazz have spent the first 4 minutes of the episode talking about how they own a trucking company, how they can drive like what do you call them? Like semi trucks. Yeah, like the big, like the 18-wheeler trucks, right? Like Mack trucks. I assume that's what, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think that's correct. And like they're experts at driving and whatever. No, because they have to get out of their car. They can't figure out how to put the car in reverse. Now, I will say, there have been many seasons on The Amazing Race, especially when you're in Europe, and people have to drive a stick shift car. The stick shift is different. Like so I'm friends with Jelani, season 26. They had a stick shift car in Germany where you actually had to like lift the gear thing and pull it a certain direction to get it to go in reverse, which is not how any cars here in America are. So I understand it's a little bit different, but good on The Amazing Race for a little bit of shade, being like, we can do this. This is no problem.
Yes.
Getting out of the car and pushing it is not how you put your car in reverse. But
well, that is true. But I love the fact that they didn't waste time, right? Like there is something about Jag and Jazz that like they're always prepared. And again, if it's me in the stick shift and it's not working, I'm freaking out. I'm like,
not me. I don't freak out.
but we know, girl, you was cute, cool as a cucumber. But I would be freaking out. Like I would be losing my ish. I would be
Oh
telling
yeah.
my partner, I just want to be mad. Give me a moment to be mad. But I love the fact that they didn't let it stop them. And I
Mm-mm.
also feel like this showed that they actually do work with cars, right? Because they're like, let's put it in neutral and
Did it?
push it. Because girl, I would have never thought that. Okay, when Jag was putting his leg on the pole and then pushing, and you had to get the momentum, like I would have never thought that. I'm a passenger princess. I could drive really well and really far, but listen, I ain't, baby, triple A, please. Okay, triple A to the arboretum. So I liked how they switched it, but then I got a little nervous because when they pushed it back. Now I think Jazz says they kissed the
They
fence.
kissed it.
I don't, I don't know what type of
Thank
kissing
God there
they
was a fence
doing.
there because it looked like maybe it wasn't, but it did look like if there was no fence there, that car was going over a cliff. And then you have to wait for another vehicle.
Okay. But with Jag and Jazz talking about them being like the truck drivers, now I want to know, like, when they're driving the trucks, how many times do the people do the horn?
Do you
Because
still do that? I still do that sometimes.
I still do that. I absolutely. Well, sometimes if I see a truck driver that I don't know, because I'm from Pennsylvania and we are a vast and wide state. And sometimes
Yes.
if I see a truck, I just want to keep going. But if I see a friendly, if I were driving and I saw Jag and Jazz, I would be. I'm lying because if I saw Jag and Jazz and I was driving, I probably I might maybe flash him a little bit, okay? But I still do the horn sound. So I do want to know how many times do they get that? Because I love it.
Side note, your mother just texted me. Just saying.
Oh, good
Yep.
morning, Barb.
Morning,
And I don't
Barb.
even think I got my Barb's message yet. Okay. Let me just check my phone. Oh, I'm lying. I got mine at 10:01. Sorry.
Damn. Well, she likes you 9 minutes more than she likes me, which is fair. You're her child. Okay. But I get it. Putting a car in reverse is difficult. Okay. So Kylan and Taylor find the park and the arboretum and the statue, and they go to pull it up. What is your thoughts on these two detours? Because I don't think they were particularly even.
They weren't. And this is what
Mm-mm.
scares me because in my mind, I'm preparing to go on an Amazing Race. Okay. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm
You
gonna be on
better be
Amazing Race.
prepared,
Um,
honestly, and you better win. I'll give you tips.
uh I worry because I'm always like, I listen. It takes me forever to watch the Amazing Race because when we read the detours, like I close my eyes and listen to the descriptions. I don't look because I'm like, let me just pretend that I'm reading it. And my mind immediately, I was like, the oysters. The oysters just sound easier. Where it's like you row a boat, you pick up 3 and go deliver them. Now, there is something to be said because I do find that most like men teams, they are always willing to just do the brute force and just get it done with. But I just in my mind, I was like, I'm doing an oyster. First of all, who doesn't love an oyster? A little
Also,
horseradish,
these
little
are
hot
supposed.
sauce.
Oh my God, yes, horseradish. Thank you.
Oh,
That is the first thing I put on an oyster. I love
yes.
things spicy. Yeah, it's great. But the thing is, these were both kind of brute force. This was not one mental, one physical. This was physical and physical. And I
Right.
actually think the physicality of the oysters was harder because you had the wind. This was a very rainy day, windy, rainy. It was basically a monsoon. And you had the wind pushing the boats in the wrong direction. And these were not tiny boats.
They weren't.
These were big boats. And just quick shout out to Natalie and Stephanie, who stood and rode these boats like they were a
Yes.
gondola. And also
'Cause
to
that-
Kylan, who all he wanted was Taylor just watch the oar, make sure it doesn't come out of the thing. And she's like, and he's like, could you
but
watch it? And she's
listen,
like,
but kudos to Taylor because Taylor talked to Brooke because what was Taylor doing when she wasn't watching the oar? Well, I mean, because she wasn't watching the oar, but
Oh, she
what was she
wasn't
doing
watching.
instead of watching the oar?
Read.
She was
your
reading
clue.
that clue. Kyla said, well, maybe we'll read the clue when we get to the oysters. But here's the thing. And I have some issues with Amazing Race, and I feel like I don't know if it was Danny and Angie season when they got on one of those speedboats and the speedboat didn't work. Do you remember that? Was that Angie?
Oh, you were mad. Yeah, because you
And-
were like the engine on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just feel like Amazing Race, y'all, if you're calling it a rowboat and there's a slot that the oar needs to go in, I feel like it should work because that oar shouldn't have kept popping out. And I feel like we've seen Kylan 6 episodes in now, and I feel like we know how Kylan minds work. Kylan is
Mhm.
very methodical, very like
Mhm.
by the book. And so Kylan's like, I can't roll this any way other than having it in the oar clip. So I was a little like trying to figure Amazing Race out. Like, if you saying it's a rowboat and it has an oar slot, make sure the slot is secure. That's just my thought. But
Well, but they need, but if it were only in the slot, then 2 other teams would not have been able to do it. And also, side note, on my season, you had to row a boat with your feet, and by you, I mean
what is
Scott, and by Scott, I mean thank you. In Vietnam, they row boats like that with their feet, where you put your legs on the oar and
I
you
like that.
row hands free. Oh, it is hard. I tried to do it.
I like-
It
You
was
haven't seen
really
my
hard.
thighs.
And
I
there are
got
these tiny, well, also Scott, he's got thunder thighs. Like there are these tiny ladies doing it. And it was just the funniest. We were sort of toward the front at that point, so we could laugh a little bit. But they gave us the stick, which was to only be used if you got like stuck next to like an embankment to push yourself
push it
off.
off.
Otherwise, you were to use your feet and only your feet. And he works out, so he's got really big legs and was like had the force behind it, but the coordination to use your legs to row and these tiny little women like speeding by using their legs, it was hilarious. It was one of the funnier moments that we had
Now,
on our
quick
season.
question. You said if the
Mhm.
oar's locked in, only 2 teams will be able to do it. What do you
I
mean
think
by
only
that?
one team would be able, because the other teams that did the rowing stood up and rowed. Each person rowed once off the side of the boat, as opposed to using them like in the handles. Kylan was the only one to do that.
Well, but if the oars were locked in, then they would be able to row the boat correctly.
I know, but the other 2 teams had like a very short woman on them, and I just feel like standing up gave them like the momentum that they needed. I like that they had the opportunity, they could think outside the box and do it differently if they wanted to.
So
That was
all
just
I'm
my
saying is Amazing Race. Just get us a clasp. We could take the clasp on or off. But
Sure. Okay.
I was with Kylan though, because that's how I would be. Like if my oar kept popping out, I would get frustrated because I would feel like the oar clamp is there for a reason and it could potentially maximize your speed. So
The other thing is I give Kylan so much credit because I'm the tailor and I would have been reading the clue. And Kylan's like, could you just watch the oar? And she's like, yeah. And then she's reading the clue and it falls out. And
he's
he's
like,
like,
but
could you just watch the oar? Like just very calmly. I would have been like, beep, beep, beep. Watch the beeping oar. Like I would have lost it. He stays very calm. And the 2 of them, I find them enjoyable together. I like
they're
it.
like
Even
the
when they're
yin to the
frustrated, I'm
yang.
not mad about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
They're so
Okay, so
different.
so different, but like good. So
Yes.
meanwhile, Natalie and Stephanie are starting now. It's 10:30 in the morning. Stephanie can drive a stick shift, but she's not the driver here because she needs to navigate. Natalie, I don't know Natalie. She's one of the ones that I don't know, but I like her very much. She's always so excited for herself. She's always so proud of herself when she does like any little task. And I need a little bit more of that because she is the biggest cheerleader for herself, and I love it. She's like, I just got it in second gear. Yeah, like that's great. Now drive, go.
Okay, because the
That's
way she was driving, Brooke, she
I have a friend who drives like that. Like I'm like,
wasn't
how
gonna
do
miss
you?
nothing coming.
Well, she keeps her eyes peeled. She's very like over
She's
the
like,
top, right in the front.
my friends say I drive like a grandmom, and I love it. Okay, listen.
Not today.
Okay, kudos to you, because my godson, he's 6'7", he's learning how to drive, and
6'7" as in height, or are we going back to that ridiculousness?
no, he's actually 6'7".
Okay.
And he's projected to grow a couple of more inches as well. But he is in his senior year of high school, and it's Uncle Brice's baby. And I had to take him to basketball practice. What was it? Tuesday. And so he's learning how to drive. And so he wanted to drive. Baby, the way my insurance is set up, we're not driving. But we got to the parking lot and I let him drive around. And when I dropped him off and got back in my car, my seat was
He couldn't reach the pedals.
I was like, now wait a minute. He had me feeling like Natalie, because I said, now wait a
And
minute.
you're not
Peyton.
short.
I'm not short, but I'm not 6'7". Like my godson had the seat all the way back. I said, okay, Peyton. Yeah, we But
I get made fun of because I drive very far back. Like I sort of like
oh,
lean.
you're your gangster lean. Okay.
I got long legs. I got a little middle, but long legs. I sit far back. Okay, anyway, unimportant. At this point, Eric and Tucker have found the salt shed for Bag It Up, and they do something they're smart. I mean, honestly, they should go very far. They put 1 scoop of salt into the bag and weigh it. And then decide, okay, 1 scoop weighs this. So we need between 20 and 21 pounds. We know we need, 10 scoops of the thing because it weighed like 2 pounds.
Like, hold on. I thought what Eric, Hunter, and Tucker did was so smart. Like, get you what do you call it? A cue? Not a cue, but like a base point.
I know what you're saying. Like a baseline. Yeah. Like what you're like a.
But get you a sample size.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
I was like, that is so smart. And I was shocked.
Everybody didn't do this.
Teams did not do that. Like, I was like, oh my God, that's like so smart. And I guess Eric works for a fiber. Tucker works for a company. Like, so like he had practice with the CEO. So yeah, I was like, oh my God, they're smart. They don't get like shuffled or flustered easily.
Right.
Like, I'm like, okay, I'm here for the Eric and Hunter team. I like Eric, Tucker, and Hunter. Okay. They're smart, they're methodical, they got the salt. And one thing I do appreciate about this detour, specifically with the salt challenge, because in the past 2 or 3 episodes, I feel like the judges have been okay, baby. This salt judge was weighing and checking every bag. I felt very confident for him. If he were my mechanic, if he were my doctor, if he were my chef, I would feel very confident if he had to check my food because he was doing his job.
So here's the change that I would have made to this task, because I think there could have been one little change that would have made this so much more interesting. I think that each team should have only been allowed to weigh a bag 1 time.
I agree.
So if you weighed the bag 1 time and it was 15, you got to put a little more in and hope for the best. And if you got one that was between 20 and 21, then you know to lift that bag, lift another, and see if you're close. And that way, because I didn't like the fact that there was a scale there that you could use as many times as possible. I think that made it too easy.
I agree.
But like 1 bag each time, like 1 time each bag. Yeah.
Well, I think we're on the same page. I agree. You could use the scale as many times as you wanted for 1 bag.
Oh, and then not weigh any more bags.
And not weigh anything else. Right. Like I did think that, but child, the way the time lapse of this episode, I don't think much would have changed. But
I kind of do, because I think the oyster one inherently took longer. And I think at the salt one, I think there would have been a whole lot more shuffling if you could either only weigh 1 bag or only weigh each bag once, whatever. Then I think it would have allowed for some lead changes. And by virtue of the fact that we are, a third of the way through the episode and 3 teams haven't even started yet, and 1 team has already finished the detour and is moving on to the next thing. I don't know, whatever. So Joseph and Adam get to the Neptune statue and decides bag it up, because obviously, and Kylan and Taylor are out on their boat rowing. And whatever, I told you about that already, and who cares, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Natalie and Stephanie get a little bit lost. Are you drinking a pina colada? That looks like a pina colada.
Oh, no, it's just a little coffee and a little styrofoam.
Or a Bloody Mary. I thought that was a celery stalk upon second glance. We should be drinking. Okay.
Oh my God.
No, drinking is bad. Hi, Mom. Okay. Okay. This is not booze. It's too early. Okay. So Natalie and Stephanie get a little bit lost, but in true Natalie spirit, she's keeping her spirits up. They can't get their car in reverse either, but they ask a local, because when in doubt, ask for help. And they figure out what they have to do. And she is golden for the rest of the episode. She is good. She doesn't have a problem after that. Like, she learned for this, and I'm just a fan. Okay, so Jag and Jazz push their car into a parking lot space because they still don't know how to put it in reverse. And at this point, Eric and Tucker get the baguette on their first try, because, like you said, Tucker has experience with the
zip,
closer, the zippy thingy. Yeah.
Kudos to Jag and Jazz, though, because they didn't just push their car in because they didn't know how to do, like, they were having issues with reverse, and so they could have just pulled in, but
They
to
didn't
save
wanna have to
time on
back
the
out.
front end, right, they pushed it in so that if they had to leave, they could just pull out, which again, come on, Kings.
That's smart.
They might, their level that they drive cars does show, even though, reverse is a huge part of driving a car. But listen, they are showing
Maybe.
us that they know how to maneuver, because also it's like, when you think about it, because I drive every day. Like, I don't think I put my car in reverse. Well, actually, I'm lying. Well, yeah. But I'm just saying, you don't use reverse that much.
No, if you have like a circular driveway and you're only going to places with circular driveways, then I don't think you have to reverse your car ever.
Girl, you're giving very rich status, circular driveway. Baby,
I don't-
I'm
we
in
never-
Philadelphia. I don't even have a parking spot.
I don't even have a car
Oh, well.
anymore. I used to. Drove it to Florida during the pandemic. It stayed there. Okay. Don't recommend. It's a very long drive. Okay, so they get the route information, which says make your way to Park Kumadra. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. And Jazz and Jag show up as Tucker and Eric are leaving. They ask, this is another reason I like Tucker and Eric. Jag and Jazz ask how hard it is to seal the bags. And Tucker goes, it's easy. Just make sure it's sealed all the way. That's not really giving them anything, but it's helping without helping. So it doesn't make them look like they're not helpful and keeping their mouth shut, but he didn't say anything. That's like politics talk, saying nothing without saying nothing.
But I also felt like in that moment, maybe it could have been me, but I also kind of felt like Eric was like a little, you saying too much.
I think Eric and Stephanie have a very similar vibe.
Oh, they do. They absolutely do. Also, when Eric Hunter and Tucker were pushing their wheel cart, Brooke Camhi always says that if you stay on Amazing Race long enough, there's a roadblock, there's a detour that is for you. And if you watched our last week's episode with Jeff Bailey from Amazing Race season 37, this wheelbarrow would have been for him and him alone, because he could have wore his sneakers and he could have went straight through that puddle and he would have got the wetness that he likes to wear his sneakers in the ocean.
Man loves a soggy sock.
He absolutely does. So I just, shout out to Jeff Bailey, because I said, okay, this would have been a task for you. And I also feel like we know Pops and Jeff would have absolutely done the salt in the wheelbarrow, because why would they have not?
Right, because they're all muscles. Meanwhile, Tyler, maybe that works. Kylan and Taylor, I smushed them, are being pushed by the wind. They're struggling, but Kylan is proud that at no point they were going backwards. So at least he's moving forwards. That didn't look like they were moving to me. I don't think they were going anywhere, but at least they weren't going the wrong way. Okay, so Natalie and Stephanie find the clue at the statue and decide to pull up the oysters. And I'm like, no, do the other one, because this one is hard. And Jag and Jazz are putting salt in they're like pushing salt out by hand, and this is why I think you and I agree. You shouldn't be able to keep weighing like all of the bags, because that would have made life harder. Because as you saw, a lot of people, the hardest part of this, other than the sealing, if you're Izzy and Paige, is to get it through like the swamp that they had to push it through to get to the other guy. So whatever, we should make the challenges for the Amazing Race.
I mean, I think so.
So Tucker and Eric find the next clue, which is the roadblock. Side note, 3 teams still have not started. Okay. So the roadblock says, who knows their way around Croatia? Nobody. But Eric decides to do it. You have to look at this map, or in some cases not look at this map, because 3 of the teams didn't even find the map. Find a couple of locations around this like square area, and each of the locations had like a shield with 3 facts about Croatia. And then you had to return to this lady in the park, and she'll ask you some questions and you get your clue. I actually loved this task. I thought this task was well made, smartly done. The questions changed with each attempt, which I think another reason why Jag and Jazz may win this whole thing. They had the brains to think this through. And so kudos to Jazz when he gets there.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Memory challenges are the best. So, but also like these were not like mini facts. It like they were very specific numbers. And I went back and forth when I was watching people take the test, where like, so Eric does this. He does it fantastically. He's killing it. He gets everything right, but he still gets a no because he didn't say he said the right number of feet, but didn't say feet. And how do you, if they're, but she didn't say no right away. She looked at him for a second, like just say the word feet. Like the whole thing said feet. So then he had to run around again. Now, if I were him, I wouldn't have run around again. I'm like, give me the test again. Like, because he knew his numbers. He very much knew what he was doing. But okay.
Smart.
Anyway, here come Jack and Chelsea at 11:29 in the morning. Jack starts talking about he can drive 6 shift. His first cars were 6 shift, and they're talking about how their communication is getting better every leg. They're keeping it positive. I would like a little more Jack and Chelsea screen time personally. I think that Jack is hilarious. He's very proud of himself when he does things. And I think they're just, you know me, a daddy-daughter bond.
I love it.
I love that. So
But
I hope they stay a bit longer so that we can see more of them.
One thing, listen, their communication is getting, no, I love Jack and Chelsea, but I mean, directions, don't love to see them coming. Okay. Y'all communication could get better, but the directions will get better. And I think Jack had me cracking up watching this episode where he's just like, they're saying the name of the street, and Jack's like, I don't see the street signs. They're not like back in the States. Yes, we're in Europe, Jack. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's fair. We drove in Greece, and I will say, it's my favorite country. Love it. It's basically where my family is from. But the Greek alphabet is so hard because it's like you can't even come like Spanish, Italian, Portuguese. Like there are at least things that you can somewhat for me. Don't come at me. Like it's more symbol than letter. So it was really, really difficult. I feel like Croatia, he was having the same kind of problem with the reading of the signs. Okay. So meanwhile, Taylor and Kylan have found some oysters. And everyone's socks are soggy. Jazz is squishy, and that's the worst. So, okay. So Eric now gets his roadblock on the second try because dude has got like an airtight memory. It's really, really impressive. Like I can't think of anything these two can't do yet. And I don't think that bodes well for the other teams. And I think it's why Eric and Tucker and Hunter are going to get U-turned. This is my guess now.
But the thing that also worries me that historically with teams like Eric and Hunter, who, in my opinion, they know everything, right? There will be, I feel like last season or with the Files brothers, right? Like, they weren't great at everything, but they kind of sort of conquered everything. But I feel like when we have these super strong teams.
Hey, Bill. Sorry, go ahead.
They will, sometimes the Amazing Race has a way of putting kryptonite in front of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm loving them. And like I said before, I will go publicly on record if they kept up this energy, and they have. And I think Eric and Hunter, I think my heart has opened up for Eric and Hunter. Also, another random thing. Because I don't watch Big Brother. I wish Jeff was here. And somebody in the comments could tell me, are Rabina and Hunter really in a relationship? Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker.
Well, yeah.
Was it a real relationship, or was it one of those?
I watched the season. I can actually help you with this. I did watch that season.
Okay,
and yes, they were very cute. It looked real. And I think, they're not together anymore, but yeah, I think it was legitimately real. I think they were a long distance relationship, but I do think it was legitimate. They were very cute. I very much like them as a couple. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
I only ask because it just seems like whenever the relationship is brought up, like at a pit stop or a starting point, they're like, I don't know for being still in a race, but that's not going to affect me at all. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying there just seem to be like, I don't know. Because if that was my man, and you didn't know if I was in a race or not, whether you meant it or not, you better say, I don't know if Brice is here, but like, he's always in my heart, so it doesn't matter. But anyway.
Or like had a Tucker and Tucker and Eric, you really messing with my head. How did Tucker and Eric not go to Joseph and Adam and be like, you turn my girlfriend? Like, that's not cool. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
They was all making, they was worried about a gentleman's agreement.
I don't know. Tucker and Eric are focused on Tucker and Eric. And honestly, if they don't make it to the end, my guess, and I don't know, my guess would be there's a double U-turn somewhere and they get U-turned and they don't make it out because somebody's got to go.
My guess is if they don't win, looking like it's projected like we see a winner. If they don't win, I don't think a U-turn. I think it's going to be something like Eric or Tucker they're scared like you were scared of spiders. Or I feel like it's going to be something that like we as viewers are going to be like, y'all could do all of this, but that I feel like it's going to be something like that. My opinion.
First of all, spiders are scary. Don't say all of that. Second of all, this is not the best holiday for me being scared of spiders because there's like
Well,
spider webs and all this visible.
you being so
Not for
scared,
Brooke.
you shouldn't try to wake your partner up with a scream mask in bed. But I'll digress. That's why I'm single.
I might be
Yeah.
after I did that. Okay, anyway, so Tucker and Eric finish and they are told to race to the pit stop down at the cove. 2 teams still haven't started yet. Okay, so is that nuts to you? Like the whole
It is
they started
crazy.
8 something in the morning. Okay, so they started 8 something in the morning. Izzy and Paige started 11:45 and Tucker and Eric are at the pit stop. So like this is a very short leg. So Jag and Jazz are finishing the salt thing. One of their bags
The
isn't sealed. They have to go back. Mhm.
only thing that I will say that was giving me hope throughout this episode, because like I said, this episode was a pamphlet that we have seen before, just a one-sided pamphlet. We could see
The bookmark, yeah. Uh-huh.
yes, okay. But I think when Eric or Hunter or Tucker read their clue to head to the pit stop, I believe it said, or the last team could be eliminated. This is the first
Maybe
time that we had
eliminated. This is the
heard
first time.
that. And so I was like, ah. So that was kind of my saving grace.
So I think it said it because this was literally a race between like 2 teams, maybe 3 teams who started at the back. And I think that it said that because, if you know you're at the back and it's such a short leg, I think it was to give hope to the teams at the back, like don't stop because maybe it's a non-elimination. Like
Okay.
it wasn't. Maybe it was.
Well,
Okay. So yeah.
maybe it was for the viewers because it worked for me. Because
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
yeah, because
good.
otherwise it's like obviously who's going home. Okay, so Kylan and Taylor give their wishes to the chef. They're in second place. And here comes Izyah and Paige at 11:47 in the morning. They are happy to still be in it. They would not have U-turned Jag and Jazz, but they want to see them because they want to give them a piece of their mind. And I don't blame them. This is giving me very Ann Lee vibes, who is like, who did it? Which one of you
who
people
did it? Yes.
did this to us? But they know and they're not happy. And then they get a little confused and we have our shout out to Andrea Molina with the out of towners. And I go, these 2 have watched the show. I like them even more. They're actual fans.
Yes.
High five to them. Okay. Jack and Chelsea are lost.
Tell me something on this pamphlet. I don't know. The pamphlet has 2 words on it. Okay.
That's amazing. And Joseph and Adam at this point are talking about how they want to get back together with the Trainwreck Alliance. I'm kind of hoping this alliance is over. I think Stephanie hopes this alliance is over too. I think she's had it. And I really love the moment with Stephanie and Natalie where she's like, girl, like we're in a race. We're not going to sacrifice our position to wait for somebody else. And Joseph and Adam understood that. And I think Natalie was the only one who's like, but we can't. But then they're going to think. And so
what I find so interesting about that though, right? Because it seems like the people that have been on Big Brother are the ones that are keeping that alive, and the siblings or the loved ones, like even when Joseph, also shout out to Joseph for double checking the directions, okay? Because that could have been something pivotal. So, but while he's doing that, he's telling Adam, keep looking around. And Adam's like, bro, like
they're gone. They're gone.
They're gone.
And if they're not gone, they should be gone.
And so I kind of like that we see this dynamic, especially with like Stephanie and Natalie, where Stephanie is like, girl, stop doing that. And even Adam is like, bro, they're gone. So I do think at some point in time, the Trainwreck Alliance will have a collision.
I mean, it would have to, right? Okay, so and bringing up the rear, we have Christina Rubina, who started 12:55 p.m. I think 2 teams have checked in at this point. And once Rubina moves her seat as far forward as humanly possible, they start to drive. She's so cute, so tiny. They're very proud of themselves for surviving the U-turn, and they are on their way. In another moment of, I'm going to say annoyance, Joseph and Adam asked Jag and Jazz for help at the salt thingy. Yeah. And they help them. Blah, annoying. Taylor and Kylan gets to the, but like enough. Taylor and Kylan get to the roadblock and she starts running. She keeps repeating the facts. I'm like, she's going to do great. She's got this. Jag and Jazz have finished their detour. And while Taylor's running around, Tucker and Eric have checked in at the pit stop and they win a trip very cool, to Cairo, Egypt. Like, this is a cool
Yes.
prize. Way better, I think, than the $2,500 they won previously, because after taxes, that's almost nothing. And this is a very, very cool trip. So I'm thinking to myself, these two teams, Jag and Jazz, Tucker and Eric, are going to get U-turned from any vote. And if they're not the teams to get U-turned, people are not playing this game correctly. So Jag and Jazz show up at the roadblock. Taylor's at the roadblock. She goes, I'm just going to take the quiz. Smart. She takes the quiz.
Very.
And then she goes, okay, so now I know the questions I need to remember, and goes back around to the shields and only memorizes those facts.
And
Not
let's
smart.
just. So here's the thing, though. I thought it was smart, right? And like she said, I thought I hacked the game, but the game
hacked me.
And I really do feel like, in order to win in these type of games, you have to take risk, go big or go home. And I feel like she went big here, right? There was a possible downside, but I loved where her head was, right? Like, because sometimes when I watch Survivor, when I watch Amazing Race, and when I see some of the big brothers, like, I be like, my mind on the spot, like, I'm quick with it. Okay, you talk to me, you say something smart to me, baby. I got my tongue can give you a lashing. Okay. I was teased from 3rd grade till today. Okay, my mouth defends
You
me.
tell me by who? You tell me by who?
Okay.
I know some people who owe me some favors.
I got a list of people from 3rd grade. Anyway, so my smart comebacks, my quick witted is like a defense mechanism for me. So I'm like very smart, but I'm always, when I watch these shows and I see Taylor say and do something like that, I'm like, I would have I feel like I'm Kylan in that way. Like, I would have I gotta methodically run, read, and get back. I loved that. And then just when I thought the peak of smartness, and first of all, when Taylor said that, Amazing Race, they did that little thing. I was like, oh,
She's
Lord.
gonna be disappointed.
But then when Jazz, I said, no, okay. I love me some Jag and Jazz. But baby, my panties got a little wet.
Oh my God, you with this again. Please don't pull out a bottle of water in a bucket. It's no. So gross. No, oh my God. Oh
sorry.
My God.
My panties got a little wet. Sorry. My panties got a little wet.
Those are briefs, dude. You just pulled out panties?
Though, I mean, my briefs, I call them panties, but my brief panties got a little moist when Jazz said,
just throw in the word ointment. Why not make it really disgusting? Like, those words are okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My panties got moist when Jazz said, let me go take the test. And I said, okay, like, we just seen Taylor do that. Right. But then when my man took 2 steps back and said,
let's run that back.
I just told y'all, my mind wouldn't have even thought to go ask the questions first. I would be Jack right now, up in the hill lost. The way your mind has to be set up to go ask the questions and then double check. I said, Jess, I'm having your baby. Because a smart man kind of do it for me. Okay.
It was Taylor's move was very smart. Jazz's move was very smart. Plus. Like, I like what she did. And honestly, I don't know that I would have thought to ask twice. I mean, now I'll think about it. But like, in the moment, she had the wherewithal to be like, I'm not going to take the quiz. Very smart. But I wish that she'd been like, ask me again, because the questions would have changed. And that was really what got her, but not so badly. They still did fine. But Jazz,
right. But
thumbs up. Round of applause for Taylor too for thinking about it at all, but I get the round of applause and then a want because the questions changed. Okay, so at this point, Natalie and Stephanie make it to the oysters. They rode together like they're on a gondola, and whatever works. So good for them. And Rubina talks about how she and Christine were not close growing up. Used to watch The Amazing Race with their mom, who had a brain aneurysm, and then she died. And then I cried because I'm like, this is so sweet. And I love that they're fans. And if they go home, which they do, which is very upsetting, that makes me sad because I like when fans are in the game.
am a person that laughter and funness is like my medicine for like sad and awkward situations. I am the cousin that you should not sit by at a funeral. Like I'm that
I
family
get that.
member. And so there was something about Rabina and her sister when they said trauma bonding over your mom, like trauma bonding with your, I was like, oh, I love them. And I was kind of sad learning this information. One, just because like losing your mother, I could never imagine, and just seeing how bright and wonderful they are. Like, trauma does build character. But I also was pissed at this moment because at this point, Tucker, Eric, and Hunter are asleep in their hotel, and
Oh yeah.
we're
Oh
still
my God.
midway through the episode, and we're learning this emotional moment of Rabina and Christina, and I'm like, are they like they're going home? Like they're going home? Like they like you are pulling on our heartstrings. But again, at this. You ever seen those like TikToks or memes where it's like they're showing a video of somebody running and they're about to fall? They're like, shh. At this moment, he knew he effed up. Like that's how it was for me. But it was like, whoosh, at this moment, Rabina and Christina, I'm obsessed and I love them even more. Like I was like, oh, why are y'all playing with me, Amazing Race?
Make it a non-elimination leg. Anyway, side note, there's a really cute cat by the quiz, and I want to take it home. But you know me and the cats. Okay, so at the detour, Adam and Joseph are doing the salt thing. Adam decides he's not going to do too much physical work in case he has to go do a roadblock, which is good. And what?
I also just in that moment when they're talking about Adam's blood sugar and when Joseph gets on the screen and Joseph's like, I'm a protective bigger brother. I'm a protective older brother. Like my brother's health comes first.
Yeah, but Adam's got himself. He doesn't need
Yeah,
it.
I
Like,
know, but I'm just, me as a younger brother, like as the younger, handsome, and cuter brother of my family, like when Joseph was saying that at that moment, the panties got like they just, little drip, drip. I said, oh.
I think you might have a medical condition.
Ah, yes, it's called
Oh no.
smart, handsome, and attractive men. Get you every time. That's what it's called. And I'm sorry. Yes, the condition is smart, handsome, and attractive men. And Stephanie will get you every time, okay? Because y'all know I have a crush on
Called
Stephanie,
sham, smart, handsome, attractive man syndrome.
yes,
He's got the sham.
y'all. Whew.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
Izzy and Paige
Time out.
find the
Wait,
Neptune
sorry.
step. Oh no.
Wait, I'm feeling a little sham. Come on. Whew, sorry. Sometimes the sham just happens.
Whoever bought you those sound effects should. I can't. Izzy and Paige find the Neptune statue, and so do Jack and Chelsea. But Jack and Chelsea run right past it, and Izzy's like, just like hide the clue. Like, don't show them. Don't tell them. And you know what? You're in the back. You got to do what you got to do. I agree. But the moment is Jack and Chelsea are looking for the clue, and Jack's like, "Where's the clue? This is the clue." Jack's like, Where do we look at? Your hand is on it, man. Your hand is literally on the ribbon for the clue. But they find it eventually. Jack and Chelsea and Izzy and Paige all decide to do the salt bagging because it's the faster one. But at this point, I'm very into Natalie and Stephanie, who have just gotten the oysters. They're doing great, even though they were pushed a little off course. Jazz takes the quiz again. He gets it. They're in second place. And Taylor is not paying any attention to any information
Who took
on
the test again?
Jazz.
Sorry, little sham. Little sham.
I should know better. Okay. Taylor's not paying attention to any other facts, and this ends up biting her in the butt. And we go to commercial to her laughing and then screaming. But I appreciate that she's not going to let it ruin her. And also, again, shout out to Kylan, who's being super supportive. Like, he could be like, hurry up, we need this. And he's just like, it's fine. You're good. The hardest person on Taylor is Taylor. And
and sometimes that's the natural. Who is Taylor's partner?
You're going to play the thing.
I'm not.
Kylan.
Okay. Smart.
Face everything.
Okay. Still fits into the sham. Okay. Yeah. I love, Kylan is the best partner. Like, and again,
so supportive, so kind, so upbeat. I feel like that's the kind of partner that I need too. Like when I'm out there, because I feel like I'm a little Taylor, and like I also, may not have thought to ask for the questions twice, and then I would have been like, oh, so mad at myself. I get very hard on myself. Okay, so, but she gets it, and then they're in third place. Great job. Jag and Jazz check into the pit stop second, and Natalie and Stephanie have, oh my God, Natalie and Stephanie? No? Okay. Have finished the oysters, and they are in fourth. Joseph and Adam, however, have finished the salt thing, but they're, oh my God, they're the only team that decides to walk through the grass. Why? What, your feet are already wet and soggy. Why are you going to walk through the area that's going to be tangled in the wheelbarrow, and you're not dumb, but whatever, they're fine. They're so strong, they push it through. Just stay on the concrete, man. I don't understand that.
It's funny because I felt like when we saw Hunter and Tucker do it, and we saw Jag and Jazz do it, and they made a point to be like, we're going straight through the puddle, and I was like,
Izzy too.
And I was like, there's going to be a team that doesn't go through the puddle, and I was like, it's probably going to be my brothers, and it definitely was, but it don't matter. But I just was like, listen. They were directionally functioning today, so a win is a win. That's
true.
all I got to say.
That's fair.
That's all I got to say.
We hear Izzy talk about how she wants to yell at Jag and Jazz, but they've already checked in, so she's not going to run into them on the course. And back at the beginning of the leg, Rubina and Christine now find the Neptune statue, and they go to the oysters, and I think this is the death of them. Had they gone to the other side, maybe, but it's not looking good. So Natalie and Stephanie get to the roadblock. Stephanie does the roadblock. She can't find the map. She doesn't need it. She's already running around. She's great. And Joseph and Adam finish their detour, and they get to the roadblock, and they catch up to Stephanie and Natalie. And it's a great reunion, and everybody is so happy. And Stephanie and Adam work together and start quizzing each other. And I'm like, okay, fine, but like, just keep moving. Like, it's just.
This was my only gripe with Stephanie, was that Adam was the one that was quizzing Stephanie, right? Like, and so it was like he did take the time out of his way to help each other. But I guess it's not even really a gripe because they both helped each other on the course, and they both were the sibling that was like, why are we
don't need to do that. But I will say, I have to give Adam a lot of credit. I'm going to give Adam credit right here, because as they were getting to take do you have any other whatever? As they were getting to take the test, that feels like home. Adam got there first to the test lady, and he stepped aside and let Stephanie go first because they were at the roadblock first. So I appreciate that, because you are a little bit faster, but understood that he moved faster because she was there to help him.
But let's also be
thumbs
clear,
up, Adam,
because I like that. Thumbs up to Adam too. But I also feel like, okay, I think that was a strategic move and very smart, because they didn't know what the questions were, how the questions were going to be. So I also think that is another amazing race thing that you talk about, like helping without helping, like him being like, oh, you go ahead first, because if you get it wrong.
Yeah, because they didn't know that the questions were going to change. Okay, fine. You're right. Kylan and Taylor check into the pit stop in third, and I like that they're at the top. They should always stay at the top. And Izzy and Paige and Jack and Chelsea have gotten to the salt. Jack and Chelsea, again, run right by what they need. They run right by the wheelbarrow, and Izzy's like, they didn't see it. They didn't see it. I love these two.
Yeah,
they're getting a little bit of like flack online, and I hate that. Stop talking badly.
Wait, who giving Izzy and Paige flack?
The Facebook.
Listen, hold
Mostly Izzy, and I don't like that. Yeah, agree. Back off, people. Until you've run this race, you don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. Is that smacking? What is that?
Yes, well, I just smacked the haters. Okay, first of all,
agree.
This is a Paige Stan podcast.
And
okay?
Izzy.
And Izzy too. But yeah,
they're great people. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Stephanie takes the quiz. She gets it. Adam takes the quiz. He gets it. And then this is the point in time where Natalie's like, we'll get the car. Just like, where are you parked? Where are you parked? Natalie's like, we'll get the car. We'll come around. She gets you. Just like, okay, pick us up. We'll get directions. Stephanie's like, stop doing that. I need you to focus on us. We're not going to lose our spot because of these two. And Natalie's fine. Like, she looked around as long as she could. And she's like, fine, let's just go. So they just go. They end up in fourth. Joseph and Adam show up as they're on the mat. And again, it's a party that they're all together. They're all so happy. Yay, whatever. Okay, so there's three teams left out there. We have Izzy and Paige, who can't get their bags sealed, Jack and Chelsea, who don't get all of them correct, and Christina and Rubina, who are stuck at the oysters and can't even find the marked boat.
I feel like with Paige and Izzy, they were struggling. I feel like they were putting the seal on the what's it, the line? What do you call it? The serrated line that is supposed to tear. I feel like they were just putting it too close to the serrated line. And so when
Mm.
they apply any of the pressure to pick it up, the serrated line would rip, is my thought process. But I wasn't
I
very
mean, they
familiar.
ultimately figure it out, which is good because I've not used one of those sealing things, so I wasn't sure what they were doing that was making it wrong, but something. Also, their wheelbarrow falls over.
Ah,
Izzy has a moment of frustration. It is a tenth of the frustration I probably would have had, but between the two of them, she snaps out of it really quickly and she's like, let's put everything back in. We got this. That's fine. Jack and Chelsea are hoofing it. Those two are in shape and moving. My favorite moment of the episode is when Izzy and Paige are getting their bags judged. Paige is like, it's good, right? I made this
right,
just for
right.
you. Like she's like trying to sweet talk the judge, which the judge doesn't make the decision, the producer does, but it was just really, really cute. I very much enjoy because that's what I used to do when I was like making a mask in Venice. I'd be like, "Is it? It's beautiful. It's like very pretty, right? It looks just like it." Blah, blah, blah. So I just feel like if you are kind to them, maybe they're a little bit kinder
I'm
to you.
I,
Mm-hmm.
flattery
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Will
and
get you
compliments.
everywhere.
Okay.
So Izzy and Paige get it in sixth, and Jack and Chelsea in seventh, basically at the exact same time. I wish Christine and Rubina hadn't done the oysters, but they did. And then as they're getting the oysters, poor Rubina's glasses fall right into the ocean. Bay, whatever. And these are her prescription glasses. And she's like, and I'm like, don't worry, you're not going to need them because you're going home this episode. And but then they cut to her in the car and she has her glasses on. So either she had a second pair or they're just not showing things in order. At the roadblock, Jack and Chelsea get
Baby.
there, and Izzy and Paige are there. And Izzy's like, do you want to work together, Jack? Because there's a team behind us. And Jack's like, no, I'm good. Izzy's like, okay, good luck. And I hope he doesn't have good luck. Like, I get both
Now,
sides of this. I would
I
have worked with
do.
somebody if I knew there was a team behind us, but
I
Jack
do.
then takes the quiz and fails. And I think Izzy has a little moment of like, ha 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 ha.
I just
That's
was
my
making
alarm.
sure Jack understood what this was, the roadblock, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the roadblock was. The roadblock was you find a map, a 3D map,
No, you didn't need it.
okay,
Mm.
of the shitty Jack. Okay, I think Izzy is extending an olive branch because we 6 episodes in, and one plus one equal Jack and Chelsea. Directions
Yeah,
don't
they're
work,
not great with
but
directions, but, I mean,
I wasn't.
I would have been Izzy and said, "Yeah, let's work together," but I would have absolutely worked with her. Meanwhile, Izzy also fails the quiz because she fails to say feet after the correct number of feet, which is frustrating because it was the correct number. Whatever. Christina and Rubina finished the oysters in last place. Poor Izzy, when she's taking the quiz, is like 22,395. Like she is wheezing, and I'm like, is this girl asthmatic? Somebody get her inhaler. Like she is, but she does not stop. She has no quit in her. She gets it in sixth. Jack gets it in seventh, and they are off to the pit stop. And Jack and Chelsea check in sixth because for the first time they don't get lost. Izzy and Paige do get a bit lost, but not so lost that it knocks them out because they check in seventh. Rubina does the quiz and fails because she too doesn't say feet. Like I really feel like maybe this wasn't necessary. But I do like the fact that they're letting Rubina and Christine finish the leg, which leads me to believe perhaps tiny sliver of hope that it's a non-elimination leg, but it's not. They are unfortunately eliminated. I want to see what happens next week. You hear Rubina and Christine. Phil says to them, who do you want to win? And Rubina's like, Izzy and Paige. Like, I know my boyfriend's out there, but he's good at everything. I sort of get it. She's like, he can do it all. Let's have a woman team win this thing.
Right,
Let's make it Izzy and Paige. I love an underdog. I love that too. So Rubina and Christine, I'm sad to see them leave. I very much enjoyed them.
I was agreeing with them saying like I want a woman. But I also said that going into this, I didn't really know much about them. And I think that they just won us over. Like they're just fun. They're emotional, but in the best way. They're supportive. Like, I love a sensitive, talented, smart
Same.
beat queen. And like Rabina and Christina were that. And so it was just like sucks losing Hannah and Simone the week before. And now Rabina and Christina.
I know.
Yeah.
We
But
got two more very strong women teams, and I hope that they go a very long way. Next week, they go to Europe.
Oh.
There's some skydiving, and they get to play
Oh.
with sheep. There's an animal
Ooh.
task. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be great. This was a fun one, but I'm hoping next week they go to a new country, which I like. So it's not gonna be a 3-hour leg. The leg was basically Eric and Tucker finished the leg in the amount of time it took to watch the episode. I'm thinking, like, that's how nuts.
It's crazy. Well, when you had 3 people on your team, it makes it easier. So we will have to see. But as always, we can't thank you enough for listening and watching to Brooke and I on the Pit Stop covering Amazing Race season 38, episode 6. We'll be back next week with episode 7
with
Have
a special guest.
Ooh.
Was it special guest, I think? And we're going to be doing another checkpoint with another one of your favorite teams from this season.
So let us know in the comments, who would you like to see a checkpoint with Brooke and Brice? And we thank and appreciate you for listening. Have a happy Halloween. Be safe. Check your kids' candies. And yeah, we'll be back. Bye.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.